So last night, something huge in the here. This same conversation about Victor Osimhen about Chelsea, and then CCA, another news has come out, a new dimension to Victor Osimhen to Chelsea and how things are going to be done. But you see, near Corso and Drano was from the Italian perspective. The Osimhen deal has a lot of perspective. Fabrizio Romano represents the player agent perspective and Chelsea perspective, and sometimes to an extent player agent perspective. So Roberto Calanda, it's Obekaya. When the whole conversation has started, Fabrizio Romano came out, Roberto Calanda, Ababeka said, Osimhen any just a small package to be shifted around because usually on us connects with the agents, And my client several times said, if you look at somebody like Austin, most of the times he's dealing directly with the club, into club position, on the communicating, and then drag the Italian point of view from Gianluca Di Marchi, one of my favorite reporters that were Italian, for me also for Sky Italia. And me personally, like after all of these things, my job is to put everything together, make sense for you. And what I say, into Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. And a lot came through by net, and I've seen a breaking news from one of my Italian connects. In there, we've had a very good conversation about Victor Osimhen and then the latest updates with him and how it looks as if the Chelsea Fono can get a branch friend Victor Osimhen into their team. But easy. Crack. It is not going to be an easy deal for Victor Osimhen to join Chelsea Football Club. I mean, the qualities of Victor Osimhen will be any back to the team. It has never been a big deal of technicality and answer whether he's good enough, whether he'll fit Chelsea or not. And here no problem for Victor Osimhen. The problem has always been financial, and to see if Chelsea football team are finding a good financial bargain to get Victor Osimhen to join Chelsea. And not a big deal. No? So until that hurdle is crossed, not still a bigger deal. But there has been a new development of Victor Osimhen. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Someone subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel, CCR. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Now we'll turn you notification. Turn on the notification. Send a bear DBR, me drop it content in a date, me drop it 3, 2, all of them. You will get notification, you will get the content, and you would enjoy it for yourself. No waiting me so I share in every football group will be our home. I want you to do that. Send a be generating conversation. Then we can do and have analysis. So be the different opinion, then we'll talk about it, which is very, very important. Again, let me say a big thank you to you for back to back. Comments national by commenting back to back. Fifi more fire back to back. I am grateful. You do 17k subscribers on YouTube. To be very honest with you, I am very grateful. Many saw me both on Ishra and Hase of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Many saw the growth that you've given me, the successes that we've chalked together. And you mean when I started, man, but because of you and all across the world. We started from people from Zimbabwe, of course, Nigeria, for the Ghanaians in the UK, Ghanaians in the diaspora, US of A. And of course, the algorithm, any data, no air chairman say 60% of those that watch me are in this country organized. Thank you very much, my people. Say Masomi Muma Krame, and those are bringing your comments. Many so, and thank you very much for being here. Share the link, analysis, and of course, there's a lot of things to go on in them. Of course, after Madrid game, your Madridista will bring you the post-match analysis of that game, of course, and the other transfer news, of course, on. But let's get back to the Victor Osimhen conversation. Then Ronaldo, Gianluca Di Marzio, through Sky Italia, Ebeka said, now Chelsea for technical team have given a green light. Say Chelsea able to me assign Victor Osimhen. Now, what does that mean? That presuppose say the reason why it was difficult for Victor Osimhen to come to Chelsea was because the technical team really didn't see him as somebody that could do the deal. It is a report that I sharply disagree with in terms of Victor Osimhen, because technically, tactically, Victor Osimhen is a better player than Jeremy Vardy. But go back and watch Leicester City and how Enzo Maresca used Jeremy Vardy on the team. Victor Osimhen is more technically gifted and suits Chelsea than how Jeremy Vardy will suit that Leicester City team or even will suit the Chelsea team now. So offer Victor Osimhen as a player. The first thing that is very important and very imperative, I say, the kind of analysis, and then you make sure that that's the first thing you look at. And it's a one. Makani several times both on enshrining her. And he said, Osimhen a physical specimen. And say will be a physical specimen. And then in the modern game, everybody wants to play short. Everybody wants to build up from the back. And one of the ways to curtail building up from the back and then a short pass, and they say you will be aggressive and press. And in that aggressive press, one of the things that's being used is the man-for-man press or the man-to-man press. And usually you will see it when I write it in a caption as M2M, man-to-man press. That's consistently teams will do. Now, say unya center forward or you're very good in winning duels, or you're good in terms of the physical side of the game. Now, Otimi winning on winning duels and in small battles in games, it affords you that advantage in build-up. 1. 2, it doesn't make the build-up one way or very predictable. 2. 3, say Obobone call long or you want to use the route 1, that's Obo call longer. Now, neither you can go over the press and then you can bypass the press quickly using the outlet and the hold-up play of players with Fiifi-Manfred who are physical specimens. Standing at 186, or you're tall player, or you're big, or you're bulky, and he can get the job done. Again, the mobility of Fiifi-Manfred is very excellent in the modern game. It is an important attribute for a center forward in the modern game. Because Onyina Fako and Osimhen is so good that he can delay his run, stay on the shoulder of the center back or the defender, then dart into space just when the ball is being played. If you look at Osimhen's offside stats and it is low, it is something that Abrante for Nicholas Jackson isn't there yet in terms of timing his runs and then believing in the fact that he has space, so he doesn't have to go quicker. He just have to go a microsecond later and he's going to be there. And okay, the modern game's use of data is very important. So XGs are important. Osimhen average XG of conversion about 0.55. It means that Osimhen, for every chance be Obenyabiano, Obesha half. One chance, Obesha half. Uketi 1 chance, man, Obesha half. And that is good and top quality for a player big Osimhen coming into a Chelsea team that struggled to get goals consistently on a consistent basis last season in the English Premier League. Again, because of the aerial ability, something that made me sense the quality of Fiifi-Manfred from aerial duels the best in the world, not even Erling Haaland. And why am I saying this? The leap of Fiifi-Manfred, was a high leap, and I'm sure you've seen that go where Osimhen leaps into the air, stays in there, and then plants his head behind the ball. That's the quality you get from someone like Fiifi-Manfred. So he affords Chelsea. So Pedro Neto from the winger, he can send in those crosses. So that's all the Kopama back inside to the half space. And the half space crosses can come from him. On the byline to resume between the crosses not to. That is the quality from aerial threat. So Osimhen will score with the left, with the right, create separation, manipulate the ball to find space, gets the goal, and then also score from aerial duels. And so if you look at Fiifi-Manfred, tactically, technically, he fits everything that Chelsea would want to do on the ball, without the ball, in the box, everything. He has all of those things in his arsenal, and I don't think that the problem has ever been tactical or technical. The problem, however, has always been financial. But the financial issue of Fiifi-Manfred by Chelsea, it looks as if we are getting to a closure. Now, what is the closure? See, America saying, again from Sky Italia, again from Gianluca Di Marzio, MOL reported clearly said the issue with Fiifi-Manfred seems to be close to being reported. And I'll tell you about Joao Felix deal also. One, what Sky Italia for can I say? And the sporting director of Napoli was in London. Papa, a friend Roberto Mana. Roberto Mana's job at London was simple. One, Yenko discussing how best you bet to me. Na a deal for Fiifi-Manfred Abrante for Romelu Lukaku. So Antonio Mana did fly. It occurred England. Discussing with Chelsea team in a way they can get Romelu Lukaku. And in there, they have proposed to Chelsea said, somebody your evaluation of Fiifi-Manfred 120 million as a release clause no munya says can maya. Ye per Romelu Lukaku. Musa so players be nya bepe. Obi to say Abrante Fenisi Cesare Cazadero in Italian they say Cesare Cazadero. Any Abrante Lukaku mu de Lukaku kan ho. Now, if you are the kepa back account, man for kepa and come there, then you try and find some small amount of money. There are players be all books and so we may want them on Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea say, okay, fine. We are going to analyze the situation. We'll look at it and then we'll get back to you on how we are going to get Abrantia, your friend Osimhen, to Chelsea Football Club. So Osimhen, any the project Osimhen is on, project Lukaku are on. All of these things are also in the background, and Chelsea are trying to find a resolution. Mind you, transfer window is ending at the end of August, and everything would have to be done then. Until Chelsea is doing everything possible to make sure somebody finalizes the deal for Victor Osimhen. And if they are done with Victor Osimhen, then they can go on, get their player, bring him in, play some quality football, and then make sure say they are going to do well. Be rest assured, say the deal for Victor Osimhen just hinged on the financial part of the conversation. Immediately Chelsea, is outside. Definitely Osimhen, it's going to be a new Chelsea player. He's going to be in there with a new squad. They are going to have him in there. He's going to play some good stuff for them. El Hodem in there for Abrantia, your friend Victor Osimhen. Of course, the story of Romeo Lavia, and so Dan Romeo Lavia has said something very, very important in there. Seniors and still Sky is still a report. Said the director for Napoli, it's still in London waiting to get things done for Abrantia, your friend Victor Osimhen in there. Victor Osimhen is going to be in there in terms of the quality of Chelsea, what Chelsea want from him, and they want to make sure they get that player. There's an update on Abrantia, your friend Joao Felix. You know my stand on Joao Felix. I've told you why Joao Felix, I have issues with him coming. It doesn't mean that Joao Felix is a bad player. He's a good player. I'm not too sure. I mean, this is just my opinion. I'm not too sure of how Joao Felix stand out amongst the rest of the Chelsea attackers. People are speaking about the fact that Joao Felix is better in between the lines than Modric and Sterling. I agree. The problem is that Joao Felix doesn't have the touchline. And right now, Chelsea needs somebody that can have the touchline to give them some depth in there. But then again, Chelsea looks as he said they will still do that deal. I don't know how long it's going to take, but at least I said Chelsea will do that deal for Abrantia, your friend Joao Felix, and he's an important player. Once he comes in, of what Chelsea takes it to the next level, plays some good stuff in there, and of course a very, very important player for Chelsea. Romeo Lavia had said something. One of those players what didn't come on. He said a lot of things about himself in there, and what Romeo Lavia can say. So also Chelsea team now amongst all the other teams on English Premier League, Chelsea team and it is growing. It's a group of young players who are good at their various clubs, who have come together, and they seem to be growing together. Until say for him, it has the Liverpool offer was there. Liverpool wanted him, but it was always Chelsea because he felt that Chelsea was a team that was going to grow. Chelsea was a team to be at because there were a lot of things to be done. A lot of the stories about Victor Osimhen and Chelsea, but like I said, it is still the same. Nothing really has changed. It's about the financial obligation of Chelsea to commit and get a branch and Victor Osimhen. Immediately Chelsea are able to do that, and definitely they would get a branch your friend of Victor Osimhen to join the team. Of course, the Athletic is also reporting say in the next few days, Chelsea being a front shirt sponsor, and then Infinite Athlete is going to be on the shoulder. And of course, Basun, and of course, Baghdad, Gbali, and Tukan, and I could did come out to make sure so being a front shirt sponsor for Chelsea Football Club team. It's very, very important for Chelsea to get a front shirt sponsor in there for them to get their player, which is very, very important. I'm here by Nyami there finally there will be finality for Abrantia, your friend of Victor Osimhen. He's going every Abrantia, your friend of Joao Felix team, very, very important. We are going to see that everything is going to be done in that regard. There are a lot of transfer conversation. Diego Simeone wanted to make sure that Conor Gallagher did return to England in any doubt over whether or not he wanted him, and to make sure he knows he's highly rated. The coach is desperate to sign him. Of course, Diego Simeone has made Conor Gallagher know that he's an important player for him. We are very, very sure in the next coming days that we'll get clarity on Conor Gallagher, any Abrantia, your friend Diego Simeone, what he has wanted from the player, how he sees the player, what he wants to get from the player, and how Chelsea wants to see from the player. It's been a year since Chelsea has signed a huge deal. Abrantia, your friend Your friend Moise Caicedo from Brighton and Hove Albion. Everybody remembers all of those drama of Moise Caicedo joining Chelsea Football Club. And Romeo Lavia again say Man City and all the teams that have been successful, they needed years to do that. I'm not saying we need the same amount of time, but it's definitely going to take time. We are aware that it is not going to take 2 weeks. Then the confidence is there. We want to get it. Romeo Lavia say, I think we are building something amazing. Everyone at the club can feel it, not just the players, but everyone. If you look at the team, Chelsea is the one that is growing, like I did mention to you earlier. Romeo Lavia, it was not a hard decision simply because I felt I was ready to play. I had a good conversation with the manager at the time, and he said, listen, you are young and you need to develop. He was honest about it. I felt like I could play, and it was about looking for the best opportunities to get to at the stage as fast as possible. Romeo Lavia. I had alongside Rodri, Fernando, Kevin De Bruyne, Ike Gunnar, Bernardo Silva. These players could play in midfield in different positions if needed. And that's something that when you look at, you say, wow, that's the level. They are always putting their head down and then working. And the boy called Romeo Lavia. I said it several times. For me, the most important player that will come out of Chelsea this summer is going to be Romeo Lavia. I think that he's going to be the breakout season for him. Look out for Romeo Lavia. A lot of the players are going to come. Osimhen is probably going to come in. Pedro Neto is going to come in. But Romeo Lavia is going to be very, very important for Chelsea Football Club in there. Of course, it's a huge season for Cole Palmer. He has to show the quality to show in last season again in the English Premier League for everybody to know that he is a top player. Can Cole Palmer replicate that former last season for Chelsea Football Club, or he's just going to be a one-season wonder for himself? Can it be done? And I say it cannot be done for a branch friend Cole Palmer. Manchester United are still looking for a DM, Manuel Ugarte, or who is going to come in. But branch your friend Desiree Doué has now signed for Paris Saint-Germain after so snobby teamer, your friend FC Bayern Munich. Desiree Doué has signed for FC Paris Saint-Germain, staying in the French Ligue 1. He isn't going to go anywhere in there. That's a good job for himself. And what he wants to do. Arsenal are still on a branch friend Miguel Merino to join their midfield pack. They are still discussing with Real Sociedad and have been in contact for weeks. Of course, Georgi Mamardashvili from Georgia, goalkeeper Liverpool for Penano. Liverpool are clear, they want to sign him. And from Valencia, take him on loan to Bournemouth for 1 season. Mamardashvili formally joins Liverpool from 2025. Georgie already accepted Liverpool's plan and contract terms up to all the clubs of Georgie. Mamardashvili, of course, the conversation between Chelsea and the Atletico de Madrid are still ongoing for Joao Felix and Brantia, your friend Conor Gallagher. There is still no club in England that will call out for Brantia, your friend Ivan Toney. It looks as if he's going to go to Saudi Arabia. There isn't so much in the transfer market. These are the ones for you. Hi, Fiifi-Manfred. Thank you very much.